Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson wasn't dressed in his usual Hollywood style today. Instead, he wore an oversized threadbare hoodie, ripped jeans, and worn sneakers. His iconic muscles were hidden beneath layers of shabby clothes, and a fake scruffy beard concealed his famous jawline. Bunny covered most of his face, leaving only his eyes visible. Today, The Rock wasn't here to promote a movie or pose for photos. He had a different purpose, a social experiment. He wanted to know how people would treat him when he wasn't The Rock, but just a homeless man. Dwayne had often spoken about the power of kindness, the importance of respecting everyone, no matter their background or appearance. But this experiment would be a way to see just how much judgment and stereotyping influenced people's behavior in everyday life. Walking into a bustling cafe known as Brew Haven, he could already feel the eyes of customers on him. The cafe was a local favorite, full of people sipping their lattes, chatting, and typing away on their laptops. Dwayne was ready. This experiment wasn't just about how people treated him. It was about how society judges others based on their appearance. He took a deep breath and pushed open the door. The familiar scent of freshly brewed coffee and pastries hit him instantly. The interior of Brew Haven was cozy, with mismatched furniture and colorful art on the walls. It was a place that welcomed both regulars and newcomers alike, but Dwayne knew that today, he would stand out like a sore thumb. The moment he stepped through the door, the cafe's security guard, a burly man named Frank, gave him a hard look and stepped forward to block his path. "Hey, you can't just hang around here," Frank said, eyeing him up and down. Dwayne didn't flinch. "I'm here for a coffee," he said in his low voice, pulling out a crumpled wad of cash from his pocket. "I'll pay." Frank hesitated, looking him over once more. After a tense moment, he stepped aside with a muttered, "Fine, but don't cause trouble." Inside, Dwayne headed to the counter, where two baristas were waiting. One, a young man named Mark, greeted him with a warm smile. The other, a woman named Lisa, barely acknowledged him, rolling her eyes as he approached. "What can I get you?" Mark asked, his tone friendly. "Just a cappuccino," Dwayne replied, keeping his voice steady. As Mark prepared the coffee, Lisa whispered something to him, clearly judging Dwayne based on his appearance. Dwayne caught the words but didn't respond. "Here you go," Mark said, handing over the cappuccino with a friendly smile. Dwayne took the coffee and sat at a corner table, observing the cafe and the people around him. He wasn't just studying their reactions to him, but also the way they interacted with each other. It didn't take long for him to notice the differences in behavior between the customers and the staff. Mark, for instance, treated everyone with kindness, no matter how busy or stressed he seemed. Lisa, on the other hand, barely looked at her customers, her cold demeanor almost palpable. Dwayne's experiment was revealing something deeper than simple judgment. He was seeing how quickly society was willing to treat people differently based on appearance, and how easily people overlooked kindness for convenience. As he sipped his cappuccino, Dwayne watched as Mark interacted with the other customers. A young couple came up to the counter, both looking frazzled. The woman seemed a bit embarrassed, apologizing for asking so many questions about the menu. Mark smiled patiently, explaining everything, even making small talk to ease their discomfort. He took the time to make them feel comfortable, no matter how busy the cafe was. Meanwhile, Lisa was rolling her eyes and sighing, clearly frustrated with the long line of customers. A middle-aged man came up to the counter and asked for a specific drink that wasn't on the menu. Lisa, without looking up, snapped at him to just choose something else, barely offering a smile. The man walked away, clearly upset. After finishing his coffee, Dwayne stood and walked back to the counter where Mark was wiping down the area. Lisa was busy texting on her phone, ignoring the growing line of customers. Dwayne cleared his throat. "Hey, Mark," he said, catching his attention. Mark turned, surprised. Yes, sir? You're a good guy. A very kind person," Dwayne said, offering him a warm smile. Mark's eyes widened in surprise. "Thank you, sir," he stammered, clearly flustered. Dwayne looked at Lisa, who was still engrossed in her phone, her disinterest evident. "You're different, Mark," he said quietly. "You understand what it means to treat everyone with respect, no matter who they are." Mark smiled shyly, but Lisa rolled her eyes behind the counter. "What's this all about?" she muttered, still not bothering to look up. Dwayne turned to Mark and handed him a sleek business card. "I appreciate your kindness," he said. "Call this number tomorrow." Mark stared at the card in disbelief. "Wait, The Rock? Dwayne Johnson?" he stammered. "That's me," Dwayne said with a smile. "I've been watching you. You've got, a good heart. I think you deserve more than just working here. Call that number." Before Mark could respond, Lisa stepped forward with an angry expression. "What's going on here?" she snapped. "Why would he want to help you?" Dwayne's gaze shifted to her. "You know, Lisa, kindness is rare these days. Maybe you should try it sometime." The next day, Mark, still in disbelief, nervously dialed the number on the card. When the receptionist confirmed his interview with one of Dwayne's business partners, his jaw dropped. He couldn't believe it. This was real. Completely out of place. The sleek, polished building was a far cry from the cafe he had worked at, but he gave it his all, talking passionately about his background in engineering and his dreams. He even shared how he had worked hard to support his family at Brew Haven. 2 days later, Dwayne personally called him. "Mark, I've got great news. You're hired. Welcome to the team." Mark could hardly believe it. His dream job at one of the most famous companies in the world was now a reality. He called his family and they all celebrated. His mom cried tears of joy, and his dad, who had been a mechanic his whole life, was proud beyond words. Mark's new job at Dwayne's company changed his life. He moved his family to a better neighborhood and was able to live comfortably for the first time. As for Lisa, her rude behavior had spread through the cafe, and she was soon transferred to a different branch, far away from the place where Mark's life had been changed. Mark never forgot the lesson Dwayne had taught him, to always treat people with respect regardless of their appearance. And every time he passed Brew Haven on his way to work, he remembered the day that changed his life forever. What do you think of this experiment? Have you ever been judged by your appearance? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more heartwarming stories.